Hi, this is Mark from Brown Works, and we're going to talk about the Rock Island high capacity double stack 1911s and the custom grips that we have available for those. So first, I'd like to say stick around to the end because we're going to have a glimpse of how we reverse engineer these grips. And second, I'd like to say thank you to Mike at 360 Tactical Solutions. Whenever we develop grips for a new firearm, we try to find one or two people that have the firearm that help us beta test it, and they give us some feedback. And Mike has been a tremendous help. He has access to a couple of these, and I will leave a link in the description to his YouTube channel. He has some good content over there. Go ahead and check him out. Okay, so again, we're talking about the Rock Island double stack 1911, and it has a nice big magazine. Okay, and this comes in, there's a couple different, so they have a Rock series and a TAC series. This is a TAC-ULTRA-FS-HC, which is their high capacity. It is in their Rock series, which does not have the tactical rail. And they have the versions with the TAC Ultra with tactical rails. Okay. And this does come in several different calibers. This is a 10 millimeter. So it will hold 16 rounds of 10 millimeter. If you get a 9 millimeter version of this, it holds, the magazine holds 17 rounds. And the 45 ACP version holds 14 rounds. Okay. So just a couple features of these. They have the adjustable sights. Okay. They do have the ambidextrous safeties. Okay. And they have this this magwell. Now this magwell, it's awfully big and it sits up high and it sits really close to this bottom grip screw. So there are some issues there that we're going to talk about. So basically, we have options to replace these black G10 grips that come on them. Okay, there's not too many options out there, but we have made some in some different types of wood. There are some woods that just aren't, because these are so thin, there are some woods that splinter too easily, but there are other woods that are fine. This walnut is a very hard wood, and it works great, and it looks great up against this black. Okay. There are some other good woods that we use. This is an African rosewood. It has a really good contrast. Okay. And it can have some good grain patterns in it. Okay. And we have other woods that we use, like the cherry and the maple. And with the maple, we can do a lot of different stain and dye colors. Okay, so we can custom stain these. And we have options, again, with all of ours, we can do custom engraving. If you want your name or logo or something like that engraved on your grips. If you just want something very simple, we can do that. Okay. But again, there are some issues with their frame. They don't have the highest of tolerances when they've designed these out. I'm going to slip in some pictures here of some of the flaws that we've seen in the frame. And after you pull your grips off, you can see those flaws. Sometimes there's bumps and raises in the frame that may cause some problems. This magwell doesn't always sit in the same spot. There is a set screw on the bottom side that when you put on your new grips, you may need to adjust that set screw. Okay. And if you take a look at some of those pictures, you'll see that sometimes the holes for the grip screws are not always centered. So we do try to accommodate that with our grips. There is enough room for your grip screws. They're not that deep, so but there is enough room. If there is a problem with the centering of how they drilled the screw holes, we can accommodate most of those. If you have any problems, just like with any grips, do not over tighten your grips. If you have any problems with the fit, you just contact us and we'll do our best to help. If there needs to be any simple modifications to the grip, we'll be glad to help you out. Okay. But although the flaws that they have, this is a very fine pistol. It's a very heavy pistol. So if you want to stick around and see a glimpse of how we reverse engineer these grips, and then we'll be back right after that. Hi, we're here trying to take the first steps in trying to recreate these Rock Island double stack grips. So our first step is to 3D scan these into the computer so we can get some good measurements. But to do the 3D scanning, the 3D scanner doesn't work too well on black. So we have to coat these before we can scan them in. And we're going to coat them with this indicating spray. Basically, it's like a chalky white that will coat these. So then we can get a good scan on these. So that's enough to give it the scanner to be able to pick these up. Okay. We'll have to do the other side as well because we're going to scan both sides. The thing about these grips are there's a lot of angles and curves in these grips. So scanning it will allow us to get some baseline measurements. So then the next step is to take these, let these dry a little bit, and then take them and use the 3D scanner. Now, after we've done the physical scan, we then take those scans and we bring them into our design software here. Okay, so now we have the scan, we bring it into our design software, and then from here we can do some things. We can inspect this scan and we can map out some points, and it'll give us some measurements. So we take measurements off of the scan and the physical grips that we have. Okay, we can get measurements, we can get some angles, and then after we've had, we take all the different measurements, then we lay out a sketch. And again, you can see there's a lot of measurements we've taken on these particular grips. And then from that sketch, then we can convert that into our canvas, our blank canvas. And you can see now we've taken out things that we don't want. Like we don't want their patterning. We want to come up with our own patterning and be able to customize that. So we convert this to a smooth surface, and then from there we can put our texturing or design out where we want to put engravings, things like that. But then from all those measurements, we come up with a nice and clean version of the grips in our software. And then from here, this is where we can then machine out the grips in our whatever wood that we had chosen. So I know this is just a quick glimpse of how we re-engineer, backwards engineer some grips. So I hope it was a little bit informative. Well, I thank you. And if you have any questions, leave us a comment. Please subscribe. We'd love to hear from you. You can visit our website to see all the customized options that you have. And we really appreciate you watching. So bye for now.